We begin with breaking news out of Connecticut, where one of the main suspects in the case of a missing mother of 5 is now in the hospital. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on this Tuesday. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Beth Ward. Authorities say that suspect, her estranged husband, Fotis Doulos, attempted to commit suicide. Western Mass News reporter James Villalobos joins us now in the studio with what we know at this hour. James?
Well, Chris and Beth, for clarity, it was reported earlier that Fotis did in fact die, but shortly after, his attorney confirmed he had a pulse as he was transported to the hospital. The investigation is still well underway, but what police are telling us is that he attempted to commit suicide by means of carbon monoxide poisoning. Now let's show you some video of a helicopter carrying Fotis that left UConn Health as it landed at Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx, where he will be treated for the effects of carbon monoxide. Earlier today, he was due in court for a bond hearing, but he never made it. That's when, just before noon, police say they arrived to his home for a well-being check. When they got there, they found him inside his car in his garage, and that's when they immediately began performing CPR. His current condition, I should say, is still unknown at this time, but one doctor explains how his suicide attempt may affect him physically.
So because it is a lack of oxygen, really, that affects the body, there are certain things that do become irreversible. Once the heart has been damaged, once the brain has been without enough oxygen for too long, there can be irreversible symptoms.
Again, this investigation is still very early, so police wouldn't say whether or not he left a note before his suicide attempt. We are going to continue to follow the latest on this development and bring that to you later tonight on Western Mass News, 11 at 11. For now, James Villalobos, Western Mass News.
James, thank you. 2 colleges in Western Mass have made the decision not to send their students to China for spring study abroad programs following the outbreak of the coronavirus.
5 cases of the upper respiratory infection have been confirmed here in the U.S., with 2 possible cases being tested in nearby New Hampshire. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo digging deeper for us tonight on how the coronavirus outbreak is affecting the local Chinese community, and she joins us now live in studio with that. Audrey?
Well, a new poll from Morning Consult shows that 3/4 of people surveyed are as concerned about the coronavirus as they were about the 2014 Ebola outbreak. Those I spoke with in the Chinese community tell me there's a lot of panic for family members who live overseas.
When you have a lot of unknown, people tend to panic.
Linda Hill is active in the local Chinese community. She has a PhD in molecular biology and says the concern about coronavirus has prompted her to write a blog about the disease for people in both China and the U.S.
There's a lot of social media spreading, fake news it's everywhere. So like people don't understand what the real situation is.
With 4,500 confirmed cases of the upper respiratory illness worldwide and 106 people dead, Hill understands the panic, but says the U.S. tends to be well prepared to fight cases that reach its borders.
China is basically the testing ground right now, so we already know a lot. When they come to here, we totally know how to do it, how to deal with it.
Western Mass News spoke with the pastor of the Springfield Chinese Christian Church, who says those who have family and friends in China still fear for loved ones' health.
We are really have concerns about that, because we know that there's some outbreak in China, and then our congregation have families in China.
Pastor Huixing Chen says one member of their congregation recently traveled through Wuhan, now considered an epicenter for the coronavirus. He says she does not have any symptoms, but says they're warning others to be cautious.
If some people travel back to China, we ask them to stay at home for at least 2 weeks to make sure they are very healthy.
In the meantime, the Centers for Disease Control announcing plans to screen passengers for coronavirus at Logan International Airport in Boston. Amid reports of face mask shortages globally, those in Massachusetts are already looking for ways to send money and supplies to help.
Trustable organization, we might, give them some money, but maybe we can give some of the any supplies. But to my knowledge, there's some shortage in China.
Meantime, UMass Amherst, Western New England University, and Mount Holyoke College have all confirmed to me today they will not be sending students abroad to China for spring and summer programs due to the virus. Live in studio, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thank you for that live report. Now at 6, we're learning more tonight about the 6 people on board the helicopter Sunday that crashed in Calabasas, California. killing everyone, including NBA legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gianna.
Western Mass News reporter Caroline Powers is live in Springfield, where people have continued to pay their respects to the victims and their families at the Basketball Hall of Fame. Caroline?
9 lives taken way too soon, Beth and Chris, and now multiple families are left without a husband, wife, children, or siblings.
Peyton Chester and her mom, Sarah, Christina Mauser, pilot Ara Zabayan, John Altabelli, his wife Carrie, and daughter Alyssa, all on board the helicopter with Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna Sunday when it crashed in Calabasas.
It's a lot to comprehend, and it's not just a superstar, and Kobe was a superstar, but there are so many lives affected by this.
Christina Mauser was an assistant coach for Bryant's daughter's basketball team. Her brother-in-law says she leaves behind a husband and 3 young children.
It's huge. You got so many families that are affected. My brother lost his wife. My nieces and nephew lost their mom, but there's other families that lost their wife and their child. Kids lost their mom and dad and sibling. This is big.
Closer to home, many are grieving on the Cape, where John Altabelli was head coach for the Brewster Whitecaps from 2012 to 2014. His surviving son, JJ, also played for the team.
You could just see the joy he had as a dad and being able to share that time with his son that summer.
John stood out like $1 million bill. You could see he was a true baseball person, and he really was, his biggest concern was the development of the ball players.
Fans still stopping by the Hall of Fame on Tuesday with flowers in hand and condolences to the families of everyone involved.
The pilot, we can't forget about him. I'm telling you, it was tragedy. His wife and how do you go through that? You know what I'm saying? Or what, the stuff he went through. Imagine being there with him, you know what I'm saying? As a father, I don't know.
At least come here and show my respect to Kobe. I can't go to the Staples Center, but I'm here.
And there's been a good crowd of people here at the Basketball Hall of Fame tonight still paying their respects. Now, a GoFundMe page has been started for the Altabelli family, and it's raised nearly $134,000 in just more than a day. We have a link to that on our website, westernmassnews.com. I'm Caroline Powers, live in Springfield.
We've had clouds around throughout the day today. We are starting to see them thin out as we go into this evening. In fact, our latest scans kind of show the thinning clouds as you go into the northwest corner of the state. That's going to be the trend for the rest of us into tonight and into tomorrow, leaving us with mostly sunny skies throughout the day. We're at 36 in Springfield, 35 in Westfield, 30 degrees as you go into Worthington, and 20s in Blandford. So we're expecting temperatures to fall under those clearing skies back into the upper teens and low 20s. Looking good on our viaduct camera right around the Hall of Fame. So you see the clearing skies heading into tomorrow, not only tomorrow, but also into Thursday. I think Thursday is actually going to be, while it is cooler, it's going to be slightly sunnier than what we'll see tomorrow, and no weather issues to speak of the next couple of days. So upper teens, low 20s for overnight lows. You see the amount of sunshine we're waking up to, and we'll call it mostly sunny to just plain old sunny throughout the day tomorrow. A light northwest wind at 5 to 10. We do have temperatures returning to the upper 30s. Now we're slightly cooler heading into Thursday, but we're rebounding nicely back into Friday, and then the weekend arrives. All eyes on the weekend. We'll show you those details in just a few minutes. Chris and Beth?
Jacob, thank you. Police in Orange say they arrested a suspect yesterday who tried to hide fentanyl. The incident exposed officers and contaminated a cruiser. Police expressing concern, saying exposure to the drug can be quick and can be deadly. The department paid for a biohazard remediation team to decontaminate the cruiser. They say they cannot take any risk in accidentally exposing anyone else to the drug, as often these victims have in their crimes, and canines are transported in those cruisers as well.